Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As we're here on yet another Tuesday, it is the 4th of December with our Smackdown Live review and recap. First off, I do want to say to Elliot Walker in the chat, I don't know who Timothy is because legally, that's not my name. Nick is not with us tonight. Nick had some other things come up, so I'm going to take it solo. Let's see who is with us in the chat. We've got, of course, Elliot Walker, Kristen McNutt, DJ McDaniel, Death Music 97, George John Cox, Mark Brown, Crazy JJ, Alex A, Patricia Jackson, Travis Ray. Who else is here? Bonnie Remy, Travis Ray already said, Ashton Tyler. So what's going on, you guys? What did you guys think of tonight's Smackdown Live? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? I thought it was better than last night's Raw, but just a show, to be honest. So, show kicks off with Paige in the ring. Paige is down there to conduct a contract signing for the upcoming TLC pay-per-view, the women's title match. So Paige is out there, and Paige brought all the women down. Becky Lynch's championship is hanging above the ring. Lynch got yet another big pop when she came out, and Big Becky chance. Lynch noted, Paige said they're making history, so it must be a Tuesday. Anytime the man is in the ring, she makes history. Becky would then promise to beat both Asuka and Charlotte at TLC. Flair said that she picked up the ball that Lynch dropped. The fans booed that. Flair noted, it took one kendo stick to beat down Ronda Rousey. It also took a one punch from Nia Jax to take out Becky Lynch. Fans booed yet again. Asuka interrupted and noted that Lynch beat Flair, but she never beat Asuka. She said Lynch picked wrong, and she could have beat Rousey. Flair pointed out that she beat Asuka and ended her streak. Lynch said that they can't beat Rousey, and neither can beat her, and Lynch signed the contract. Charlotte once again said something about beating Asuka at WrestleMania, and Asuka just said, you got lucky. How about we fight right now? Before anything can happen, Paige gets in the middle, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville come out. Rose pointed out that Flair lost at Survivor Series technically. Yes, she beat down Ronda, but DQ, loss. Deville said that Asuka winning the Battle Royal last week was a fluke, that Sonya Deville herself dominated. They both got what chants from the crowd. Paige was tired of hearing all the talk. She's like, you guys want to prove something? How about we do a tag team match right now? Flair and Asuka, Rose and Deville. Before this match happens, we see Shane in his office. Miz approaches. Wondered why Daniel Bryan is his guest tonight on Miz TV. Miz was upset and felt McMahon was not holding his end up of the bargain of them being a team. McMahon was kind of like a team, and then told him, we got to use your skills to the advantage. We got to do you how you do you. Miz TV's great, and you're gonna get the answers from the quote unquote new Daniel Bryan. $2 from Kristen McNutt. She says, do you think they will put the title on Asuka? I wouldn't be against it, but I don't think so. We then get Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville taking on Charlotte and Asuka. Asuka was firmly in control and worked over the arm. The heels took over and Rose scored a near fall. Flair got the tag and sent Rose and Deville both out to the floor. She then hit a dive on the heels to a big reaction. Becky came down and was sitting at ringside. After a commercial break, the heels were back in control. They isolated Asuka on their side of the ring. Rose nailed Asuka with a knee for a 2 count. Flair tagged back in and once again ran wild. Rose pulled Asuka off the apron and nailed Flair. Asuka pulled Rose back off and jumped on the apron. Flair turned around and hit Asuka with a big boot. Flair then rolled up Sonya Deville, but Asuka nailed Flair and Deville scored the victory. Dissension, but it's not like dissension against friends or anything because their opponents come TLC. So I like the whole, Charlotte messed up. She took out Asuka, so Asuka said, this match doesn't mean anything to me. Screw it, I'm going to attack you. I like that. I like that a lot. Jon Stewart formerly of The Daily Show, was sitting ringside. He will be participating at this year's Tribute to the Troops, which was filmed earlier today at Fort Hood, Texas. We then get a triple threat match, Jey Uso versus Xavier Woods versus Cesaro. Woods and Uso worked together and sent Cesaro to the floor early. They went back and forth, trading pin attempts. Cesaro came back in and sent them both out to the outside. After a commercial break, Uso leaped off the top, and Cesaro rocked him with an uppercut. During a commercial break, Cesaro threw pancakes on the floor, and the fans booed. Jey Uso hit a dive on Cesaro, but walked right into a tornado DDT off the apron from Woods. Uso went for a splash, but Cesaro got his knees up and scored a near fall. Woods suddenly hit an elbow on Cesaro for a near fall of his own. Then, in a pretty damn awesome spot, Cesaro didn't just give Jey Uso the big swing, but he gave Jey Uso the big swing while he had Xavier Woods up on his shoulders, basically giving him an airplane spin at the same time. This Cesaro is strong as F. Travis Ray in the comments says, waffle is better than pancakes. Well, if you think waffles are better than pancakes, go to the shop.wwe.com right now. This is not a plug or an advertisement, but go over there and get the brand new WWE waffle iron. I might want to pick one up myself. I don't know yet. So back into the match, Cesaro got Woods into the sharpshooter, but Jey Uso rocked him with a super kick. Woods then rolled him up for a near fall. Cesaro sent Woods to the floor. Jey Uso hit a super kick yet again and pinned Cesaro for the victory. In the back, Kayla Braxton interviewed Rusev and Lana. Rusev said he's hungry, but not for food. He's hungry for the United States Championship. He promised that he would defeat Nakamura and feast on what day? Rusev Day. We then get another Lars Sullivan video package. Tom Phillips noted that Shane McMahon and Stephanie are bidding for the freak, Lars Sullivan. It was the same video we got last night on Raw. Now this Miz TV segment. Oh boy. This was an interesting one, because Daniel Bryan really showed what his character, his new Daniel Bryan character really is. So the Miz was in the ring for Miz TV. But before he can start, Carmella, R-Truth interrupted and yelled, "Dance break!" Did their 7 seconds. And then they walked off. Kind of unnecessary. Miz finished his intro of Miz TV. The most must-see talk show in WWE history. Miz TV introduced his guest to the new Daniel Bryan. So, Miz noted that Bryan looks the same, but he really isn't the same. His eyes are open. His ears don't listen, though. He said winning is all that matters. Miz then pointed out that he was right, and doing whatever it takes to win is what you need to do. Bryan would then say that he's come to a realization, and he doesn't care anymore what people think. He let his dreams take over. He said he has no intellectual peers, and there's no real discussion here. Bryan tried quoting Alexander Hamilton, but the fans gave him the what treatment. He called them fickle fans and noted that they've been doing nothing and all the same kinds of things for the last 20 years. Bryan then pointed out that, yes, he had to kick AJ in the groin for the title, but that was only one person. He yelled that people are destroying the earth. Fans started booing. He started ranting about people drinking out of their plastic bottles and eating their processed meats and all this other stuff that kills our environment and is bad for the planet. And I'm like, whoa, what the heck is going on here with this Daniel Bryan? He's like that crazy guy you see on the side of the road that is or isn't homeless or whatever, but he's yelling, "We need to help the earth, clear our waters," all that kind of pollution is evil. I'm like, Daniel Bryan's just lost it. We know he's an environmentalist and all this, but whew. So Miz said, for 8 years, Bryan painted Miz as the bad guy. Miz saw through this, though. He asked Bryan again if he's WWE Champion because he listened to The Miz, and Bryan said, "It doesn't matter what you say." He said the old Daniel Bryan is dead. The Yes Movement is dead. All that matters is that he is the WWE Champion. This will then lead AJ Styles to come down to the ring. AJ ran down, and Bryan pushed Miz into Styles as he ran off. Styles finally got his hands on Bryan, but Miz would interject. He gave Styles a soul-crushing finale, and this led to AJ Styles versus Miz later on in the night. I don't know what to think about this new Daniel Bryan character. It's very, very interesting. He's all about, it's what you think of, no offense to anybody, it's what you think of when you think of those crazy vegan people that all they want to do is save the earth. And it's not that, oh, well, I don't eat meat or dairy or all that because it's not good for you, like some vegans think or some vegetarians think. It's more of, oh, that stuff ruins our planet and this and that. And I'm like, this Daniel Bryan, I don't really know what to think of it. It's different for sure, and I like that. But is it too different is the thing. At the same time, whatever he's going to be doing, he's doing well. Because that whole Miz TV segment came off very, very well with the performance of Daniel Bryan tonight. I really liked it. I thought it was great, and I can't wait to see what else comes of it. I just hope it doesn't get too wacky, I guess you can say, and like too insider and all this other. Because he started using some of the terms, and I'm like, okay, you can dumb it down a little bit, but that's supposed to be the thing. But I say that, but then remember, Daniel Bryan said there is no intellectual person around for him to have a real discussion with, so he needs to use those big words and sound smarter than everybody else, because that's kind of what his thing is now. So, yeah, Alex A in the chat says he's smart. I get his thinking, right? And he thinks he's smarter than everybody, and yeah, he had to hit AJ in the groin. But whatever, he's the champion now, and that's all that matters, he said. Moving on. We then get Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. Orton tried a back suplex to Hardy on the announce table, but Hardy reversed it. During a commercial break, Orton took over after a draping DDT. No, he stun-gunned, draped him on the top ropes. He slowed down the pace and applied a chin lock, because Randy Orton likes his chin locks during the commercial. After commercial, Hardy fought back and hit a whisper in the wind for a near fall. Orton regained control after hitting a draping DDT. He then set up for an RKO, and Jeff blocked it. Hardy hit a twist of fate, and as he was going for a swanton, Hardy rolled out of the ring. Hardy then slammed Orton onto the announce table after a drop kick to the outside. He then would put him on the announce table and climbed to the top rope. As he was climbing to the top rope, Samoa Joe appeared on the Titantron, on the big screen. He was at some sort of a bar, and it looked like he was the bartender, like he was working in the back. I don't know. He was like wiping a shot glass and whatnot, and he told Hardy, "Hey, look where I am. I know you can't come to this kind of a place because it ain't really good for you." It distracted him just long enough for Randy Orton to come back in, hit an RKO, and pin him 1, 2, 3. Joe then talked about drinking responsibly, did a little PSA here, and mocked Hardy after the match, and then said, "Hey boys, y'all want a drink?" to the guys that were sitting at the bar. Then we get AJ Styles versus The Miz, main event match. Before the match, Daniel Bryan was walking backstage, and Caleb Braxton said, "I thought you left. It looked like you may have left the building early when you ran away from AJ Styles." He said, "Everything happens for a purpose. Everything he does has a purpose, and now I'm heading to commentary." Styles was firmly in control early until Miz took over with a jawbreaker. On commentary, Byron Saxton asked Bryan what his daughter would think of his current actions. Bryan then snapped and said he hopes his daughter kicks 1,000 guys in the groin and hopes she kicks Saxton in the groin too. Bryan was incredible. Bryan, he didn't just go off and just start randomly ranting and raving and being just a crazy guy. No. He thought about what he was going to say, and it was great. Bryan is the perfect crazy person. The perfect crazy person. Back in the ring, Miz hit a neckbreaker for a near fall. He charged at Styles, but caught a boot to the face. Styles went for the phenomenal forearm. and Miz nailed him with a boot. Miz went for a skull-crushing finale, and Styles rolled him up for a near fall. Miz fired back with a DDT for a 2. Styles would then send Miz to the floor and hit a forearm. Bryan distracted Styles, and Miz jumped him from behind. Miz would then hit the skull-crushing finale, but only get a 2. Bryan then tried to interfere, but Styles knocked him off the apron. Finish came when Styles made Miz tap to the calf crusher. Then, after the match, Bryan would go on to give Styles a chop block from behind. He rammed Styles' leg into the ring post several times. He would continue to beat down Styles and slammed his head into the announce table. Bryan would then lock on a heel hook. Bryan held Styles by the arm and stomped his head yet again. Bryan would then go on to grab the belt and made the ring announcer announce him, saying, "Your WWE Champion, the new Daniel Bryan." Bryan would then get on the mic and called the people fickle yet again. Bryan then would continue to attack AJ Styles as he was getting up and locked on another heel hook as SmackDown does go off the air. Now, we did learn that next week on SmackDown we will be getting a WrestleMania 34 rematch as Charlotte Flair will go one-on-one with Asuka, plus the New Day, will be hosting a rap battle where the competitors are the Bar and the Usos. So with that was tonight's SmackDown Live. Nothing really major happened other than that Miz TV segment with The Miz and Daniel Bryan. I love Daniel Bryan as a crazy person. He just does it so well. Like, I get it. At first it seemed weird, but I get the character he's trying to portray here, where he thinks he's better than everybody, he's smarter than everybody. All he wants to do is do right by everybody, but in his way. So, with that, we will be live again tomorrow night with the PWUnlimited podcast. I have been Tim. You can follow us right here on YouTube, on Twitter at PWUnlimited, on Facebook, facebook.com/ProWrestlingULTD. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.